Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Roman Reigns was Universal Champion for a record 3 years and more. A WWE Hall of Famer recently highlighted what made his title reign so special. Kurt Angle is the latest to comment on Roman Reigns' title reign, which lasted over 1,000 days. When Reigns returned from leukemia in 2020, he was on a mission to take his place on top of the pro wrestling world, and he did so with the help of his wise man Paul Heyman. Roman quickly captured the Universal Championship and then embarked on a dominant run. For the next 3.5 years, the Tribal Chief held the WWE Men's Division in a stranglehold. His grip on the division grew stronger when he also won the WWE Championship. He destroyed anyone who would step up to him. However, he finally met his match with Cody Rhodes, and his historic title reign came to an end at WrestleMania 40. Kurt Angle was recently inducted into the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. During the event, he was interviewed by Sportskeeda's senior editor Bill Apter. Angle spoke about Roman's historic reign and compared it to Bruno Sammartino's 8-year title reign. Angle said that although Bruno held the title for 8 years, he wasn't as exposed as Roman since there was no national TV back then. Roman Reigns he reminds me of me, and seeing him be the world champion for 4 straight years is just unfathomable these days. You know, Bruno Sammartino, who held it for 8 years. But remember back then they didn't have national TV, okay? You're only in one city once a month. So those people didn't see you as much, but Roman Reigns being champion for 4 years, being advertised on TV every night, every day. Commercials about Roman Reigns. 4 years is a super long time to be champion that long. 140 to 220. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns have a long history as rivals. They competed against each other at Clash at the Castle 2022, and Reigns won thanks to interference from the Bloodline. This loss deeply affected him, and he has never been the same again. In the past few weeks, Drew has targeted OG members of Roman's group in a bid to prevent the Tribal Chief from regaining power. Recently, Drew McIntyre posted a video on social media where he explained that he was trying to prevent Roman from rising to power again. He also acknowledged that he was still not over his loss at Clash at the Castle 2022. The biggest question of all: why do I want to stop Roman Reigns if I'm only looking out for myself now? I would encourage others to do the same, because I want the title. I was screwed out of it at Clash at the Castle in front of my friends and family. That loss cut deep. It took a long time to recover, and honestly, I'm not recovered. Roman, I don't know how you do it. You have magical powers. The company, fans, everyone wrapped around your finger, said McIntyre. From 2:05 to 2:30, it will be interesting to see if Roman Reigns will be able to regain the undisputed WWE Championship in 2025. In a year that witnessed some of the most captivating moments in WWE history, few stories have been as monumental or as awe-inspiring as Roman Reigns' reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. A reign that has not only reshaped WWE's landscape, but also created a narrative that will likely be talked about for years to come. While Reigns' undeniable talent and physical prowess have been praised across the board, there's a deeper layer to his success, one that resonates in the heart of the business and reflects a journey that goes beyond just wins and losses. For many, including WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, Reigns' title reign has been about far more than just the streak of victories or the number of days he has spent as champion. According to Booker T, there is a distinct quality that separates Reigns from past champions in WWE. His ability to elevate every story, every match, and every moment to feel like an epic chapter in a long-running saga. Roman's reign has been something completely different, Booker T said during an exclusive sit-down interview. It's not just about what he's doing in the ring, but how everything he touches turns into gold. The Roman Reigns we're seeing today is the result of years of work and evolution. He's not just a wrestler. He's a storyteller. He's the embodiment of the head of the table moniker. When Roman Reigns returned from his hiatus in 2020, the WWE Universe was introduced to a drastically different version of the superstar fans had known for years. Gone was the smiling, never-say-die babyface that had been pushed as the face of the company for years. Instead, Fans saw a darker, more calculated Reigns, one who had no time for the pleasantries and was ready to take his place as the leader of WWE. What Roman did so brilliantly was reinvent himself at a time when most people were writing him off. Booker T reflected. People were ready to say, "Oh, he's just another face in the crowd." But when he came back, he shifted the culture. He didn't just want to be the guy. He wanted to be the guy who defined what it meant to be on top of this business. The transformation began with Reigns aligning himself with Paul Heyman, a manager whose reputation as one of the most gifted minds in professional wrestling only strengthened the narrative that Reigns was no longer just a champion, but the undisputed king of WWE. With Heyman by his side, Reigns didn't just wear the title. He wore the weight of the legacy and responsibility that came with it. The storyline with his family, particularly with his cousins Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, brought an added layer of depth to the reign. Reigns' dominant control over the Samoan dynasty was the crux of his character evolution. It was clear that Roman wasn't merely fighting for championships. He was fighting for respect, power, and his rightful place as the leader of his family. This complex storyline captivated audiences, blending the real-life Samoan heritage with the fictional narrative of the bloodline. Roman didn't just step into a position of power, said Booker T. He took it. That's the difference. He made the audience believe he wasn't just winning matches. He was conquering them. When you're the head of the table, you don't just wrestle. You make everyone else wrestle to be worthy of even facing you. What made Roman Reigns' historic title reign stand out was not just his physical dominance inside the ring, but his mastery of long-term storytelling. In a business known for its short-term feuds and quick turnarounds, Reigns and WWE managed to craft a narrative that spanned years and wasn't just about a title defense. It was about a legacy. We've seen people hold onto titles for a long time before, Booker continued. But what Roman's done is different. He's told a story that has been built brick by brick, from his first match against Jey Uso at Hell in a Cell, to the drama with Brock Lesnar, to his war with Cody Rhodes. Each chapter has been carefully constructed to build on the last. Roman has held the title with the kind of aura that people had forgotten wrestling could have. Booker T emphasized the importance of the psychological aspect of Reigns' reign. While his physical presence inside the ring was undeniable, it was his control over the narrative and how each match was presented that kept people invested. Every opponent that Roman faced wasn't simply fighting for a title. They were fighting for the right to challenge the dominant force in WWE. Each match felt like an event, and that's part of why the reign felt so special. Roman made you believe that each match was bigger than the last, Booker T said. And that's why the matches worked. They weren't just about titles, they were about legacy. Roman was always a step ahead, always keeping the audience on the edge of their seats, wondering how his next move would change the game. That's storytelling at its finest. As the head of the bloodline, Reigns didn't just elevate himself, he elevated his family and the entire WWE product. The rise of the Usos and Solo Sikoa under Reigns' leadership gave fans new stories to invest in, keeping WWE's flagship programming consistently fresh and engaging. What Roman did with the bloodline is what every wrestler dreams of doing. He took his storyline and made it bigger than just him. It wasn't just about Roman Reigns anymore. It became about the whole family, the whole legacy. You see it in the way people react to the Usos and Solo, Booker T explained. People got invested in them because they knew what Roman represented. He made his family feel just as important as he was. And that's a beautiful thing in wrestling. Reigns' reign didn't just change the perception of the title he held. It changed the way fans viewed the role of the champion. No longer was the title a simple accessory. It was a symbol of the power, authority, and influence that one person could wield over the entire industry. Even as Roman Reigns' reign stretches into uncharted territory, Booker T doesn't believe we've seen the end of what Reigns can accomplish. In fact, he believes the best may still be yet to come. When you look at someone like Roman, you realize there's still so much more to the story, Booker T said. He's redefined what it means to be a champion in WWE. And even though the reign has been historic, I think it's still just the beginning of what could be an even bigger legacy. Roman Reigns will be remembered for not just holding the title, but for what he did with it. That's what makes his reign truly unique. As Reigns continues to dominate and reshape the WWE landscape, it's clear that his reign has set a new standard for what it means to be the top champion in the business. And for WWE Hall of Famers like Booker T.